Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum friends. Welcome to Scholars Hive. This short story is written by Hawthorne Nathaniel, The Hollow of the Three Hills. Friends, this short story is about moral darkness and spiritual hollowness, which signifies man's inhumanity towards other men. As Shakespeare said, what man has made to man. Darkness here is many things. It is unknown, it is subconscious, it is also moral darkness. It is evil that swallows up the young lady. It is spiritual emptiness, but above all, it is mystery itself. द मिस्टीरियसनेस ऑफ मैंस स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ। फ्रेंड्स, अगर हम इस स्टोरी के करेक्टर्स की बात करें तो इसमें दो ही करेक्टर्स हैं जो हमें मेन करेक्टर्स नज़र आते हैं। बाकी शॉर्ट या माइनर करेक्टर्स कह लें वो हैं इस शॉर्ट स्टोरी में। सेंटर करेक्टर एक नेमलेस लेडी का है जो कि प्रोटैगनिस्ट हैं इस कहानी की। वो एक हाउसवाइफ हैं। वो अपने पेरेंट्स और हस्बैंड और सिक चाइल्ड को छोड़कर कहीं दूर आ जाती हैं, जिसकी वजह से उनके ऊपर डिफरेंट चार्जेस लगते हैं, जैसे कि क्राइम ऑफ डिसीट, betrayal एंड dishonoring the respect of her parents and husband by fleeing from her house. Which is another character of this short story is an ancient and meanly dressed woman of ill-favored aspect and so withered, shrunken, and decrepit. She is an evil woman. She uses black magic to seduce innocent and simple people. She plays with others' lives. The Hollow of the Three Hills. In those strange old times when fantastic dreams and madmen's reveries were realized among the actual circumstances of life, two persons met together at an appointed hour and place in the spot where they encountered no mortal could observe them. Three little hills stood near each other, and in the midst of them sunk a hollow basin. There was nothing but the brown grass of October, and here and there a tree trunk that had fallen long ago and lay moulderingly with no green successor from its roots, beside a pool of green and sluggish water at the bottom of the basin. Meeting. Here is a pleasant meeting come to pass, according as thou hast desired. Say quickly what thou wouldest have of me, for there is but a short hour that we may tarry here. Lady, I am stranger in this land, as you know. Whence I come, it matters not, but I have left those behind me with whom my fate was intimately bound, and from whom I am cut off forever. There is a weight in my bosom that I cannot away with, and I am come hither to inquire of their welfare. And who is there by this green pool that can bring thee news from the ends of the earth? Cried the old woman. I will do your bidding though I die, lady replied. The old woman seated herself on the trunk of the fallen tree. Kneel down, she said, and lay your forehead on my knees. She hesitated a moment. As she knelt down, the border of her garment was dipped into the pool. Old woman drew a cloak about the lady's face so that she was in darkness. Then she heard the muttered words of prayer. Let me flee and hide myself, that they may not look upon me, she cried, but she was still as death. Evil woman began to weave her spell. The conversation of an old man and a woman became audible to the lady. Their voices were encompassed and re-echoed by the walls of the chamber. They spoke of a daughter, a wanderer, they knew not where, bearing dishonor along with her, and leaving shame and affliction to bring their grey heads to the grave. A man went to and fro continually. He spoke of women's perfidy, of a wife who had broken home and heart. Love songs died causelessly into funeral hymns, the tone of a death bell, a coffin before the priest reading the burial service. Still there were reviling and anathema from women and men, breathed against the daughter who had wrung the aged hearts of her parents, the wife who had betrayed the trusting fondness of her husband, the mother who had sinned against natural affection and left her child to die. Sadly round the verge of the hollow between three hills, she lifted not her head. Evil women said, "Here has been a sweetheart's spot." Emotions should be under the control of reason. Hawthorne believed that human fulfillment achieved through a balance among mind, reason, heart, spirit, will, and imagination. He used following images in his work: light versus dark, natural versus unnatural, sunshine versus firelight, moonlight, and reflections. Female characters portrayed as sympathetic idea of female purity is found in his stories. Protestant belief of crime, punishment, and purgation artistically presented. Young lady committed the crime of deceit, betrayal, dishonoring the respect of her family, and paid a high price with her life. Symbols: two women, they represent the maid and crown aspects of the triple goddess. They represent the past and present for older women. The young lady is the symbol of memories of old times, women's past memories of her liberation from the bounds of guilt and shame. Three hills represent three memories. Each of the hills is a painful memory and represents separation, symbolic death. Setting of the story is in October, time of reaping. We all must reap what we sow. The young woman faced her decisions. Fallen tree, women's lineage or family tree. Metaphor, no green successor from its roots, symbolizes that a woman without her family has no bloodline. Like the tree, she will just old and decay. Romantic or Gothic motifs, fantasies, dreams, reveries, open-ended endings, and unanswered questions, the open-ended possibilities of the idealistic romantic. Themes: alienation, a character is isolated due to self-cause or societal cause. Guilt versus innocence, a character's sense of guilt caused by the puritanical values heritage. Individual versus society, self-reliance versus accommodation, hypocrisy versus integrity, fate versus free will, unconventional gender roles, impossibility of human perfection, and secret sin are the themes of this short story.